Question 12, part A. Solve the equation 3x minus 2 equals 10. So this is a two-step equation, meaning I've got to move two things away from x. So rule number one, we need to get the letter on its own. So it'll end up saying x equals, and then your answer. The second part is change side, change sign. So if I take something from this side of the equal sign over to the other side, I have to change its sign. So because we would be on the opposite side of the equal sign, we would have to do the opposite sign. So if it was times over here, taking it over there, it would become a divide. If it was a divide over here, opposite side, opposite sign, it would become a times. If it was an add over here, it would become a take away. If it was a take away over here, it would become an add. So the first thing we need to move away from our x is this minus 2, because it's not attached to the x, it's the easiest thing to move. So underneath now I need to write what was still there, so 3x. When we're doing equations, we keep our equals in a nice straight line. The 10 was already there, bring it down, don't be rude and steal its seat. Now I have to bring this minus 2 over. When I change side, I've got to remember to change sign. So if this was a takeaway, it then becomes an add. So that'll be 10 plus 2. So now this is nice and easy. Bring it down again. 3x equals in a straight line. 10 add 2 is 12. So I don't quite have my x on its own yet. So to get the x on its own, I've got to get rid of this 3. So x equals, the 12 was there first, don't be rude and steal its seat. Now the 3 has to come over to the other side. So this 3 is touching the x, it's right next to it with no sign. That means it's multiplying. So if that's saying times by 3, then when we bring it to the other side, it's going to become divide by 3. So 12 divided by 3, and now we can see equals in a straight line again. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So the examiner will give you 1 mark if you got to this point, even if you had the bottom wrong, and your final mark comes from your correct answer. If you had x equals 4, it would be 2 marks straight away. Part B, a number machine is shown below. So we have the input, we've got 2 different functions, and then the output. So it says, what's the output when the input is minus 2? So I've got minus 2 here. Now, some people might be tempted to put this in on a calculator. So the minus button is here on a calculator. So minus 2, add on 5, and then times 7. So it's better not to do this on a calculator because a calculator is set up to do BIDMAS. So these functions might be in the wrong order to what the calculator would do it. So that means you're going to come up with a whole different answer. But the calculator says it, so you're going to think it's right. So these ones are best to do in your head. So minus 2, you have to do each function at a time. So minus 2 add 5 takes you, if you need to do a little number line, you can. Minus 2, minus 1, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. So minus 2, when we add, we go in this direction. When we take away, we go in that direction. So minus 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 takes me to 3. So at this point, my answer is 3. Now, with that answer, I then do the next function, multiply by 7. So 3 times 7 is 21. So my output then is going to be 21. So if you wanted to do each stage on a calculator, that would be fine. You need to remember to press equals here. So it would be minus 2, add 5 equals, and then with that answer, do the next function, times 7, 21. Sometimes they do try and trick you and they'll put add here and then something else somewhere else. It wouldn't work. So part C, expand 2 open bracket x plus 3 close bracket. So this question here, we have to times everything on the inside by what's on the outside. So effectively, I'm going to do 2 times x. Well, how would I write that in algebra? Well, if I'm timesing it, I take away the sign, so it would end up being 2x. And then 2 times the next one, because everything on the inside has to be times by what's on the outside. So 2 times, that's a positive 3, isn't it? So 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Is that positive or negative? It's a positive 6. And that there would give you 1 mark.